On this episode of News Connect, we're here at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly speaking with the PRO regarding the reoccurring floods that happen in Accra every year. We'll also be speaking with residents to hear about how the floods have been affecting them. My name is Melissa Awad for City TV. Stay tuned.
Suona eto aveno asindi nana e power chopa esre wadaruma entimi yenya uto okru nisu aveno so enya kru bi ayesu isu ni so enya takakra bi no na ayiri kru ni nyina ntinana e power cho ese ontimi bo aye wo no mu na onsisi se odon se no be na isu ni su be jae disturbing na ade se ye wo on se mi isi anu isu ni ba se dem nyema nyina I say I sat to Yama Frobium, Tinina Ghana and a Kuni Mana Bechiri. Esen and I say baby phobia, baby one my brepa, and Tesson Tina to Bassian on boy. Says the only a cosu. So and Tinana, a panacho, or soon to me, baby my.
What you want fair nakan? What you want fair nakan? Well, I'm going to get the bar. But two were here, Kaku. No, but I can't be bold just say.
And I can't even buy girl who go. I'm a wool, a police for a wool to more 10 name. I'm a wool ketty. And you're only by your coffee me. On Parliament, if I one day wow. If I could have be a say, she won't hear mobile on qualify.
I may not be in the position to address what's happening in Ghana as a whole, but we can limit ourselves to what's happening within the AMA's jurisdiction. The situation is not that bad. There's been a lot of improvement, and for us, as the mayor has always been saying, we're putting in the necessary fundamentals and the infrastructure to be able to address this unexisting situation. As you are aware, we've always been addressing the issues in relation to cleaning up, clearing the waste, but we don't address it holistically. For instance, when we pick the waste, where are we sending them to? How are we putting in measures to ensure that we bring together all these informal waste collectors to ensure that they don't dump elsewhere? So these are some of the issues we're doing. The situation is not that bad. Yes, it's not that bad. There's a lot of improvement. But of course, there are challenges, and the challenges has to do with our behavior as citizens, because as the rains are coming, it will interest you to note there are people who just want to see the rain, just a drop, and they will move their garbage into the drains and all that. And these are some of the factors that go a long way to affect whatever we are doing as an assembly in relation to the silting of the drains. Don't forget, we've begun the desilting of the drains, and we're supposed to be clearing sand, but what we see in the drains, there's nothing to write home about. People dump indiscriminately and litter. So those are some of the challenges. But we're putting in measures to ensure that we address those issues. As at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, of course, we have contracted some waste management companies to assist the Assembly in the collection of refuse, especially when it comes to residential waste management. And under that particular contract, we have the polluter pay system. So even for that, it is not the usual contract where they would go in and then clear the waste, and then the Assembly would have to pay them for. The residents are supposed to pay for the waste they generate. So in that case, they come to some agreement with various residents and then let them know, okay, for instance, we would come in to pick your waste 3 times a week, and then on a monthly basis, this is the amount of money you're going to charge. So there is that contract with them. It's quite unfortunate that there are some residents who also don't register with these accredited waste management companies. It's a challenge. Let me use the opportunity to urge all residents to move in and ensure that they register with these guys, because for them, we are sure that when they pick the waste, it would end up at the right place.
As far as expectations for rainy season, have you received any warnings from the Meteor Agency already?
Of course, there is some collaboration, and we've heard the fact that this year's rains are going to be a bit heavy. We are preparing as an assembly, and as I said, the silting works has begun already. We are hoping that we would complete the clearing of some structures all around the Odo stream to the Koli to enable contractors to also do some desilting works along that very stream. So we'll see some desilting works, especially around that end, from this week. And we are hopeful that when those works are being done, it would go a long way to help, because it serves as a basin for the rainwater. So if it is done, it would go a long way to help deal with the situation. But we still want to come back to the issues of attitude, because we will go in and then do the desilting, and that is what we've been doing every time. Go in, do the desilting, but there are people who indiscriminately will decide that, okay, they will dump their waste in the drains. And if we keep on doing some of these things to ourselves, what are we doing? And we are the same people who come and then say, and the city is not clean, flooding issues. These are the causes. So in as much as we will move in, this is not the first time the assembly is desilting. We've desilted drains over and over, and we won't stop desilting the drains. We will do them over and over before the rainy season, during the season, and even after the season. But then, as citizens, we must understand that issues of sanitation is a shared responsibility. And once we play our part, they must also play their part, so that we have a city where we can all live in and love it. So we go from community to engage the people, aside dealing with the media as well. And we for things to be done right, of course, if you have your waste, and you know waste, it's not even liquid waste. It's solid waste. You know how gutters are meant for water, for runoff water. So why do you pour your waste in there? And you still want the assembly to come and tell you should not be doing this, you shouldn't. We know the right thing, but there are times when we are a bit adamant. There are people who say, okay, fine, why is the assembly not moving in to ensure that we prosecute people? Last year alone, prosecutions we did were somewhere around 2,497 people we arrested and prosecuted. But don't forget, the assembly wouldn't be everywhere. In the midnight, when somebody picks his waste and dump it into the drains, the assembly may not be around. So it's about time we all conscientize ourselves and then be each other's keeper. Because if you live in an environment and you see somebody doing anything which will come back to haunt the environment, you must speak up to it. And that is what we're urging all Ghanaians to do, to ensure that we all have Accra where we can live in and love it.
That's it for another episode of News Connect. My name is Melissa Awad for City TV. Keep watching.